What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. It's Ars, and today we're going to be doing a walkthrough of our brand new VST. I'm super excited to bring this to you guys. It's Notonik V2. And it's because of you guys and all of your support for Notonik version 1 that we knew very early on that we wanted to do a version 2, but we didn't want to just do an update. Like, we didn't want to just update version 2 with a few little tweaks here and there and a couple of new effects. We wanted to do a complete overhaul, just completely dive into Notonik version 1 and see how in every category we could take things to a whole new level. We kept all of the things that work well from Notonik V1, all of the things that you guys said you loved about the chords, but also the sound design in those chords, and we implemented those into V2 and added a lot more. So without wasting any more time, let's dive right into Notonik V2 so I could show you guys all of the things that's inside of this thing and just give you guys a walkthrough of what you can expect when you dive into Notonik V2. Let's check this thing out. So as always, I have Logic queued up, and this is Notonik V2. Now, like I said from the beginning, when we made Notonik V1, we knew super early on that as great as Notonik V1 was, we wanted to expand its capabilities. So in diving into creating a new version of Notonik, two of the things that we wanted to focus on was a brand new user experience, including a new UI, a new user interface, and we'll dive into that in a second, and I'll go through everything that's going on inside of there. Some new effects so that you guys could take this new experience with these new sounds and just kind of, you know, manipulate them a little bit more and tweak them a little bit more to really make them your own. But on top of everything is new sounds and new sound categories. We wanted to create playable instruments and really combine all of the dope things about Notonik V1, the chords, the chord progressions, but the sound design in those chords and those chord progressions, and bring it into this new platform, but while adding new categories of sounds and taking all of those chords that you love and turning them into playable instruments. We've created a lot of nuance in these sounds, so I can't wait to go through all of these sounds for you. But before we dive into the sounds that are inside of this thing, I'm gonna really quickly just take you through the UI and some of the changes that you're gonna see inside of Notonik V2. So as you can see, if we look at Notonik V2, we kept a lot of the signature style and the signature look of Notonik V1, but we wanted to upgrade it a little bit, sharpen it a little bit, and refresh it. Just wanted to add something that was a bit more graphic and a bit more aggressive. Since we have so many new sounds inside of this thing, we wanted to take it to a new level so that any producer can be inspired, whether you're making hip hop music, whether you're making rock music, whether you're making R&B, pop, dance, Afro beats, whatever you're making, you can look at this UI and feel inspired by it and not feel like it belongs to any category or genre of music. We still have the same ADSR section right over here, your envelope section. Our volume knob is right over here on the left. You got your cutoff knob, and you can go from high pass and low pass filters. You also have your LFO rate and your LFO depth knob that you can play around with right over here. You got the Notonik 2 branding right over here in the top left corner. We kept that same signature speaker grill look, but right down here at the bottom, this is where your effects category is. You have a reverb section here, and you can play with the mix knob, the size and the width of that reverb. We have a distortion section right here, which is amazing in our bass categories, in our 808s and synth bass category. You can really get some great sounding bass using this distortion right here. We have a chorus knob right here that you literally just have to dial it in, and it'll just warp your sound a little bit and make it sound really lush and really open. We have a delay section, and we have a glide knob right here, which works super cool on those bass sounds, but it also sounds really cool to add that glide knob and kind of warp your sound in any instrument you're using, whether you're using a synth instrument, a piano, keys, whatever. The glide knob works really well. And this is our effects section down here. Now up at the top, We changed our menu section and we just gave you a little bit more to look at and a little bit more to play around with. Now this store button right here, this is where you're gonna be able to click on it. I'm not gonna click it right now because I'm recording this video before the instrument is actually out right now. So it's not gonna actually take us to the website right now. But when you get your hands on this, you'll be able to just click on store and it'll take you right over to the website. And as we start releasing expansion packs, you'll be able to buy more expansion packs and add more sounds to Notonik just by clicking that store button right there. Right over here, you'll see this image. This image right here changes as you go through all of the different sound categories. So if I click on Afterlife, you'll see right here, you have bass categories, bells, brass, keys, pads, plucks, synths, and textures category. You also have chord playables. So this is where you're going to be able to find all of the playable version of those chord sounds that you hear in the chords category. If you play any of those chords and you want to have more freedom to play the sounds that you're hearing the way you want to play them, you just go into the chord playables category. You find the chord that you was playing, go up to chord playables, and then just click on that same exact chord playable instrument and you'll be able to play it how you want to play it. We have chord progressions and we have our OG chord shots from the original version of Notonik. And you can go through all of these categories this way, or you could just press forward and backward. And you'll notice as you change categories, go to the brass, the image changes. There's a horn right here, so you know you're in the brass category. You go to pads, you have clouds right here. So the image changes as you go through the categories. And I think that's really cool. Right over here, you have your left and right volume indicators right there. So it tells you how loud the instrument you're playing actually is. And that's it. Really straightforward UI, really straightforward settings, effects. Everything on the screen is just what you need to create your next hit. But where this thing absolutely excels is in the sounds category. So what I want to do right now is I want to take you through some of the sound inside of this thing. I'm going to play a few sounds from each category just so you can hear the nuance that's inside of these sounds in these categories. It's really cool. Once you load up Notonik, it starts off in the chord playables category. We'll start off with this one. It's called Afterlife. And I think this sound right here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about nuance. You'll notice as the sound plays, a lot of different artifacts and different transitions and different feels happen inside of the sound. It changes up the longer you hold the keys. Check it out. You get those chime sounds coming in the background. We really wanted to add nuance to all of these sounds. I'm gonna randomly pick another sound from the chords playables category. We can try deep. Let's try the next one, evoke. Let's try, I'm gonna just click a few times and just randomly play something. Let's play glide. Like I said, a lot of feeling, a lot of different transitions happening inside of every preset. It almost doesn't even matter what preset I play. I can jump to any preset and the sound is gonna sound good. So we'll try keys. Let's check out keys really quickly. Let's play this one right here. It's called Capsule. Let's randomly pick another key. Let's try Dry Land. Let's try Golden. Let's try Ice. I'm just gonna play a few sounds from each category, like I said, so that's definitely not all the sounds and keys. Actually, we could go through brass. Let's try brass. So I'm gonna start off with this first brass right here that says 1986. Has a little bit of a lo-fi feel to it. I'm gonna move forward here, 2000 Leagues. Just skip a few. I'm just randomly picking presets. Let's try this one, Feels. We really wanted to make sure we added a lot of nuance, but not so much nuance that you can't actually use the sounds practically. You can still use these sounds to make any kind of beat you want to make, but there's so much nuance in it that it's really gonna be something that you can just pick one preset and that be the main basis of your beat because it's so different and cool and interesting sounding. And I'm gonna give you guys an example of that later. I'm gonna play a beat that I made where I literally just used, I think, 2 presets from this VST, and it's the whole beat. Like, the beat already sounded dope. I didn't need to add any more presets just because of the nuance in the sounds. Let's try some pad sounds. Let's try this pad right here that says Atlantis. Let's try this pad right here. This one is called Cupid. This one is called Epitone. This one is called Fern Gully. This is Horizon. Let's check out some of these synth sounds that we have here. Let's just randomly pick a synth. This one is called Believe. This one is called Glacier. This one is called Off Track. This one is called Polo. All right, we still have a lot of categories. I'm not going to go through every sound in every category, but we have a plucks category, bells, and there's textures. So if you remember from Notonik V1, we had a texture section where you can just turn up the knob. But one of the issues that some of you guys was having with the textures category from V1 is when you stop holding the key on the piano, the texture sound stops. And then when you press a key again, the texture sound starts all over again. So it's kind of like the texture sound is looping and it didn't sound very real. So instead of having those knobs that you can just turn up and the texture sound plays as you're playing the chords or what have you, we just decided to create a textures category so you can just play the texture sounds how you want to play it. We have the original textures from version 1, like Rainforest. But we also have new ones like this water one, which is called Sink. It's like washing dishes and stuff. And we have Vacuum. Just some foley and background atmosphere that you could add to the background of your beats to just make them sound a little more lo-fi or you know, whatever you want to do with it. But yeah, we also kept those OG chords from Notonik V1, so we still have those chords and you can play them. But just so you can see what I was talking about in regards to the chord playables, say you like this chord right here, Expanse. but you wanted to play that chord how you wanted to play it, you would just go right over here to chord playables, look for expanse, and now you have it as a playable instrument. And you can play it how you want to play it. Same sound, but now you have the freedom to do what you want with it. So that's just a few of the sounds inside of this thing, and I really do mean a few because there's a lot more sounds inside of this thing. But what I want to do right now is I want to get right into the cookup. I want to show you guys a couple of beats that I made using this thing. Now, I literally made these beats in seconds. They're not finished. They're not mixed. But I just wanted to show you what you can kind of put together using Notonik V2. One of the things that I really liked about this first beat that I'm gonna play for you guys is that I'm only using 2 presets, and just with those 2 presets, I'm able to create an entire beat because the sound itself has so much nuance in it that I don't really need to add that much more to it. I could just use the bass sound. I use a bass preset and I use a piano preset, and this is the beat that I got from using those 2 presets. Now I'm gonna play this next beat. It's more of a hip hop kind of lo-fi type of beat. It's using about 5 presets from 4 or 5 presets from Notonik V2. But it's just to give you guys an idea of different types of beats you can make really quickly using Notonik V2. All of these beats I made in like 10 minutes. So they're not finished or mixed or anything, but I could just run through creative ideas just going through the presets in Notonik V2. So that's it. That's Notonik V2. Now, like I said, we spent over a year trying to make sure, more than anything, that we created sounds for every producer. So we wanted to make sounds that obviously you hip hop producers could use, but we also wanted to make sounds that Afrobeat producers could use, R&B producers, EDM, whatever genre of music you're creating. We wanted to have sounds in here that not only cater to your genre, but add a lot of nuance to the sound so that you could have your own signature sound in the beats you're making. And you could be using sounds that don't necessarily sound like every sound in every VST that you have on your computer. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll check you guys later.